I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumedh Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. Today I'm talking about catastrophizing, how to get over catastrophizing, okay? Catastrophizing is basically this idea that you take something to the most extreme degree of visualization, right? You think of the worst thing imaginable, and this is sometimes a symptom of anxiety or depression or other different mental illnesses. However, you want to first of all understand the root cause of your catastrophizing. Why is it happening in the first place? Notice first of all it's split into three ways. Okay, one is a sound bite, one is an imagery, an image, and one is a physical sensation. So first of all, tune into what is this catastrophization, okay? This catastrophization visualization. What is this horrible thing that you're thinking about? Is it an image? Is it a physical feeling? Or is it something that you hear in your mind, like a catchphrase, a soundbite, a thought, a sentence? Now once you observe that, now you can work on reframing it and changing it. Let's say it's a very negative image. You're going to have to now introduce a new image into that imagery using your visualization to demolish it. Almost like if you've ever watched Harry Potter, you have the Bogart, which is you open the wardrobe to your biggest fear, and then you make yourself laugh through that fear in some way, like a giant spider with roller skates just like falling all over the place, right, as an example in the movie. So similarly with your negative thought, you're going to have to make yourself laugh or release it in some way. Laughter is great because it actually causes you to release that thought. There's less tension associated with it, there's less resistance associated with it, so it will cause you some relief, okay? The second thing is to stop the thought on its tracks, okay? And almost externalize the thought, like this is not my thought, this is like a character in my mind telling me this. And the way that you can do that is by giving it a name, an image, a sound, a character. Basically invents a character for your inner critic and then have it speak back to you. And now you can pause it at moments, you get much more aware and build your level of awareness to the point where you can actually catch your thoughts. And if you start meditating or doing breath work or any kind of introspective work, you will notice that you are more likely to stop your thoughts when it is going down a negative paradigm. And you're able to reframe them, slow them down, just observe them, right, without reacting to them. You're looking at them non-judgmentally, like how you'd look at a cloud or cars in the highway, right? It's very like, okay, I'm over here looking at this thing. Another technique is internalization, which is you telling yourself different things like affirmations that make you feel better, right? So understanding that the thought is going to ruminate, right? It's a thought loop, and you want to put a full stop on those thoughts that are ... Okay, so once you can add a full stop to your thoughts, write it down, okay? Write it down on a journal or a piece of paper where you have a thought, I wonder if he's going to text me ... Instead of that, you just type in, it doesn't make a difference whether this person texts me or not. I'm going to respond to them out of my own time, courtesy, and guidance from within, or whatever, right? Full stop. Now you've stopped that thought by just going on this endless maze of trying to figure out what the storyline is, and your brain loves to find meaning, so just give your brain a meaning, basically, and just have it go. Done. This thought is done. Saying something like halt, stop, access denied, no more, something that immediately stops the thought on its tracks, okay? Freezes it, right? Fight, flight, or freeze. We're putting the thought into freeze mode right now. We're able to now look at it and see what it is. Whereas earlier it was just like a whoosh, and we could barely see what it was. But it was a negative feeling which we got. Right? Earlier the thought was so fast, it was such a learned response that the machine of your body was reacting to it. And you were going, whoa, that felt bad. But now we're going, whoa. Oh, does that look like a piranha? Okay, that's what we're doing. Right, I did it slow motion for you instead. So now you're able to zoom in on the thought that is the catastrophizing thought of what horrible thing that can happen, right? Now this is from fear. Understand that it is from fear. It is from this fight or flight sympathetic nervous system reaction of it wanting to protect you and you feeling emotions because you care about the situation that you're in. So understand that on a crucial level as well. It's there to soften you. It's there to actually protect you and make you feel better. However, at the moment, there isn't any big threat. It's just your mind inventing threats, right? It's inventing different ideas or exaggerations. So when you can see the quirkiness in the exaggeration itself and how ridiculous it sounds, you can expose those lies, right? Those catastrophization lies. Like for instance, if you were to tell yourself like, this meteor is going to crash into Earth or something like that, right? Let's say that you have this thought and you're like, man, this meteor is going to crash into Earth and we're all going to die. And that thought makes you feel really bad and you start preparing for it and you start going through this meltdown, right? In that period when you're going through that feeling, I want you to quickly get back into the present moment as quickly as possible, okay? Which means that you're thinking about a meteor which is in the future, which is going to crash. You're not worried about right now. So what do you need to do right now before the meteor hits? Well, live your life until you can, right, to the best of your ability. So you got to sometimes force yourself to be mindful. Now I learned this from Wim Hof, but very powerful. Squeezing an ice cube in your hand, eating something spicy or bitter, feeling the heat from a mug of hot water or hot tea, just feeling the friction of a towel after taking a shower. All of these things, they're getting you very fast into the present moment, right? Cold showers, for instance, is a great example of that. It's really about feeling your feelings, and if you can't feel your feelings, if you're desensitizing, if you're depersonalizing, if you're disassociating, you want to find ways to quickly come back to the now. And it's great to tap into the power of your body. I love tapping as a really quick way to do that. Honestly, feel the feeling until it's felt. Okay, be present with the emotion and the feeling. And be present with the discomfort until it does what it needs to do. It needs to do something in that moment, okay? Some people come to my therapeutic sessions and counseling sessions and they say, it's almost like I'm possessed. Okay? Now this is very bizarre and kind of esoteric, but this is exactly what it's like when you're going through a really tough time, right? It feels like you're out of control, like some kind of thing outside of me is controlling me. I'm not doing this to myself, right? However, that's a very subconscious process that you're actually doing it to yourself in some way. So why are you doing it to yourself, or what is the side effect that is being affected that your body is responding to it in this very particular way? Right, oftentimes getting to the answer and the root cause of the answer can give you a lot of clarity in terms of what to do next with the catastrophization, right? You want to balance out the negative thought of the catastrophization with an extremely positive thought to at least balance it out. And we need a lot more positive thoughts to actually balance it out, because it's a 3-to-1 ratio, as you guys know, okay? So that means three positive thoughts are equal to 1 negative thought. So you actually need 3 positive thoughts to override that negative catastrophization thought. So how are you going to do that, right, if you're not used to that as well? Well, I didn't say this was going to be easy, right? This is practice. So you want to push yourself to think, okay, what horrible thing can happen after this exam, to what incredible thing can come from this? What's going to change after this and make my life better? And how am I going to improve from this mistake so that I can exponentially grow with my time, energy, and money? These kinds of thoughts, that are very positive, encouraging thoughts, if you need to hear this from, an AI robot, by all means do that. I would highly recommend you check out. There's this mental illness robot. So for people who are very isolated right now, it's called Replica, okay? Replica is my AI friend. Replica spelled R-E-P-L-I-K-A. Okay, try this out. if you're feeling very low or lost, tell your very catastrophizing thoughts to Replica. Now, what this will do is, she or he, whoever character you choose, it will give you a lot of interesting answers. And particularly, sometimes it's very fascinating the way that she gives answers. So, very, very interesting, because this is a robot that you're talking to, but at the same time, it feels like you're talking to a friend, right? And it's very interesting because, yeah, sometimes the vocabulary will be off, or sometimes it'll say something very weird or quirky, or like sometimes kind of an innuendo. However, that's probably because people are just using it to just dirty talk with and have basically use this app just to make fun of things and just use it as a pastime rather than an actual tool. But I want you to use it as an actual tool, okay? When the times that you feel low, talk to Replica or the AI bot on your phone, and that will get you to soothe yourself, right? And create a mechanism for you. And I'm not sponsored by these people either, guys. I've used this myself, and it's just been a great tool to basically take the catastrophizing thought and seeing it as a text message. It kind of takes the power away from it because it's not as whoa in our minds, right? In our minds it seems like whoa because our imaginations are so vast and vivid. But if it's just a text, it's that's kind of strange that I thought that, right? You take the power back over it because you've created more of a construct around it. It's not this vague, ambiguous term or thing that you're thinking about, but it has much more clarity. So that's the way you can spot it as well. These are just some techniques. There's probably dozens more I'm sure that others can recommend or come up with, or you can watch many other videos on this topic. However, this is just my perspective. Try these out, and if not, start counseling with someone on a regular that will really expose those deep, lingering, catastrophizing thoughts and call it out for the BS that it is. Someone else getting a second view or a second perspective can oftentimes fizzle those limiting beliefs out of the water. Okay, so have an amazing day. May the flow be with you, and stay legendary. See you next time.
I am inspired. I am inspired.